Hi everybody, and welcome to Self-Help FAQ, the YouTube channel. I'm Barb, your host, and now we're kicking off September with our first video. And I got the idea from Labor Day and also from looking on to online communities to find out what people were talking about they're having the most trouble with. And it seemed to be they're having the most trouble getting started with their life's work, their labor, or anything, even self-employment. That could be the worst of all, because you've got nobody but yourself and maybe an audience to answer to. And so sometimes motivation is really hard, motivation to get things started. And you wonder, how many cups of coffee does it take to get started? Do you often feel you need several cups of coffee to get started? Well, it's not because you're lazy. Sometimes it has to do within the body at the cellular level, what they call mitochondrial fatigue or dysfunction. And so today's video, that's where I want to go, because I think that a lot of times you can't get started because something's going on at the cellular level. That's where it starts. And so that's what I want to talk about today, and I hope you stay tuned for the presentation. Let's get started. Okay, so here we are looking at a cell. And imagine every cell in your body has a battery inside it. The battery is your mitochondria. In this cell, it's the little pink things here, purplish pink, that look like hot dogs with mustard on them. So these mitochondria take food and oxygen and turn it into energy called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. Without it, your brain and body can't run. So the key point here is your mitochondria are like tiny batteries that turn energy into ATP, which is your electricity in your body. And that brain fog that you get happens when the batteries don't deliver enough power. So one of the things that can cause mitochondrial fatigue is what we call oxidative stress. And I found this article here with a great visual. This article can be found at solescence.com, solescence.com, and it's called What Are Free Radicals Anyway? So oxidative stress is caused by certain things in the environment, or that you eat, or that you're exposed to, that cause some of your electrons to not be paired up like they should be. So they're running around free in your body, and they're called free radicals because they cause damage. So you can see in the visual that some of the things that cause the damage, UV rays, air pollution, smoking, incorrect metabolism in your mitochondria, and problems with your white blood cells, things like that. And so what you're looking at is the mitochondria can start dimming out because of these different things that are happening. It can be from stress, from toxins, from smoking, or poor diet, and that overwhelms your mitochondria, causing the batteries there to dim. Now, your fatigue could also be being caused by nutrient deficiency. Many of these foods here will give you what you need for your mitochondria to finish its ATP production. So you need B vitamins, which you can find in leafy greens and meat. You need magnesium, which we know comes from nuts. You can also get it from salmon. You also need CoQ10 for energy production. And that comes in a variety of foods, natural foods too, but you can also get it in a supplement. And don't forget your omega-3s that you need, which you can get from certain seeds and fish, among others. So think of it as these things that you eat, You get your nutrition, it's on a conveyor belt, but it breaks down before the energy is made in your mitochondria. So you want to make sure you're getting the right kinds of foods. Maybe work with a nutritionist to see what you're missing and what you might need to add to your diet. You could also ask about anti-inflammatory diet to help you. You might also want to try fasting or intermittent fasting. So trying to get all your meals within a certain time window, but leaving a lot of time for your body to digest and not be eating. Because in that amount of time when you're not eating, after a certain amount of hours, your body will start to clean up via something called autophagy or autophagy. I've heard it pronounced both ways. So it cleans up what's left behind that your body doesn't need. And it's very beneficial. It's been shown to be very beneficial, not only for helping your body heal itself, but also for losing weight. It works for that as well. You also want to avoid high sugary diets. High sugar. That's not good because the mitochondria needs steady fuel. And so if you have spikes and crashes, your spikes will burn them out and your crashes starve them. So it's like a roller coaster ride and it drains your batteries. So here's something else that's going to hurt the mitochondria, and that's if you have chronic inflammation. And this is an article found at verywellhealth.com, and the article is called 11 Atypical Signs of Chronic Inflammation. And so the inflammation shows up in these different problems that you have. You might have balance problems, dry eyes, brain fog and low energy, which is what we're concerned with today, skin symptoms, low back pain, insulin resistance, poor digestion, and many other things. You can also have autoimmune issues like MS or fibromyalgia or hidden inflammation, and these weaken the mitochondria. It's like a fire engulfing your mitochondria. For conditions such that I mentioned that can cause chronic inflammation, you're going to need the help of a healthcare professional that knows how to deal with this. It's beyond what I can do for help here, but some of the things that I mentioned before also can help lessen your inflammation, such as the nutrition. And next, we'll talk about the next thing that might help too. Now, you also want to make sure that you don't have a sedentary lifestyle. And even if you're in a wheelchair, there are things you can do to keep your body moving. Without movement, the body doesn't signal for more mitochondria. Too few mitochondria will equal an energy shortage. And I have noticed times when I don't even feel like exercising. I just do what Nike says and just do it, and then I feel my energy level rising. So think of your sedentary lifestyle. If you have a sedentary lifestyle, it would be like a factory shutting down sections for lack of demand, and you don't want that to happen. So even light exercise such as chair yoga and biking, or doing a recumbent bike even, tells the body, make more mitochondria. So, and this is what's called biogenesis. So it's making new mitochondria, which will give you more energy. You know, two things you might not think of that you are maybe not getting enough of is sunlight and breathing, especially breathing deeply as an exercise. Sunlight boosts your circadian rhythm, which can help you get on a good sleep schedule, and the mitochondrial efficiency. And deep breathing improves oxygen delivery to cells. So don't forget to get your sunlight every day. And maybe when you're taking breaks, do a few deep breaths for exercises to make sure you're getting what you need. Now, do you know the mitochondria cannot repair themselves without enough sleep? Maybe you're having trouble sleeping. That could be caused by things like drinking coffee too late at night, drinking alcohol, too much exercise before bed, heavy meals, being on social network too long, being on the computer too long, screens too late at night. So without rest, there's no repair of your mitochondria. So I think I will definitely do a video later all about how to get better sleep, because I think we all need that. And then there's stress management. You know, if you can't manage your stress, up goes your cortisol, which is something that damages your mitochondria and the rest of your body. Things like meditation, breathing exercises, journaling, and even exercising can reduce cortisol, which is what you want to aim for. Okay, now with all that said, what's the verdict on coffee and your mitochondria? Well, I did a little bit of research on coffee, and of course I want to say that you should drink it moderately. Try not to drink too much, because if you drink a lot of coffee and then you're stopping, it's going to have the opposite effect than what you intended. And instead of being alert, continuing to stay alert, it's going to have the opposite effect, and you'll get real tired afterwards. So you don't want that. And also, the only things I could find that it would do to you, maybe if you had too much, or you got to watch out if you have high blood pressure and are susceptible to a high heart rate. If you have heart problems, you got to make sure you're not having too much of that or too much caffeine from any drink. And but you could still have your morning coffee. Just watch it. Don't drink too much of it. All right, so that is the biology lesson for today. Maybe you remember some of that from high school. I remember maybe a little of it. But anyway, the key takeaway should be that, you know, when you're trying to wake up and do your life's work, you don't feel motivated, you're lacking energy, caffeine isn't always the way to go. In fact, if you're just giving yourself caffeine to wake up and get motivated to do your work, you're really not helping your body that much. Your body needs so much more. So be sure to give it the right kind of food. Maybe if you need supplements, look into that. Make sure you're moving a lot during the day, because your body needs movement. It encourages your cells to grow more, to help you more. So make sure you're getting some movement. Also, try to get the better sleep. There are many things you can do to get better sleep, and I'll probably deal with this in a different video. And make sure that you've got your self-care going on, both in body and mind. Talk to your healthcare professionals. It's very important that you get approval before any kind of exercise, different diet. You need them to work with you, because they know all of your different conditions that you have, what you can and can't do or shouldn't do. And so I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. And I hope that you will tune in next time, when we're going to talk about the people problem and brainworms. What are those? I'm going to talk about that next time. And I hope that if this was helpful, that you'll like and subscribe to the videos for the future. Get future videos by subscribing. And if you'd like to support my work, there are several ways listed in the description box below. So feel free to support my work any of those ways. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time at Self-Help FAQ, the YouTube channel. Take care, and bye for now.